Alrighty, so now that the Mavic Air 2 has been officially announced, a lot of people believe that this is the EVO 2 killer. And while that's actually sort of true, most of it is only half true. And I'm going to explain to you the reasons why it's not actually any drone killer, and reasons why I'm still going to be buying it. Stick around. What's good, guys? Ken here, you're watching Original Dobo, and today I'm talking about the Mavic Air 2. I've been pretty careful about talking about this drone simply because I wanted to be sure of all the specifications, because some things almost sounded too good to be true. But now that it's all out in the open and everything's confirmed and we've got a set release date, and we've already seen some videos from other people, it's safe to say we can talk about this drone. So let's first clear up the biggest thing that I keep seeing, which is that people believe that this is an EVO 2 killer. And for the most part, I would say yes, it is an EVO 2 killer, but an EVO 2 8K killer. See, with EVO 2 8K, I really do believe that the 8K isn't really worth the price that you're paying. You're getting $1,400 and you're getting an 8K camera that still has that quad Bayer sensor that is actually located in the Mavic 2 Air. Now, before you jump to conclusions and say, well, he said that it's not worth buying the 8K, I want you to hold up really fast. You do get more flight time out of the EVO 2 8K, and you do have the ability to swap the cameras, which you don't have the ability to do that on most any DJI product unless if you step up to the Inspire line. So if you don't plan on upgrading the EVO 8K to anything more than what it is right now, it may not be worth it for you. Now, with that being said, one of my biggest drawbacks to stating that the Air is a EVO 2 killer is this geofencing. And the more and more I start utilizing my drones professionally, I'm realizing that geofencing is an Achilles heel, and it's something that keeps losing me clients and jobs when I don't bring the EVO with me. So as of recently, I have taken both my EVOs almost everywhere I've went, because if I can file a waiver, it allows me to fly, and DJI software doesn't let me fly. That's a big problem. Now, yes, you can download things like No Limit Drones, and that only works if you haven't updated your firmware, and constantly playing cat and mouse with firmware is not much fun at all. So do I think it's a EVO 2 killer? Yes, if you don't want to spend $1,400 on the EVO 2, for those reasons, and you're okay with a difference of, we'll say, I don't know, what is it, 8 or 9 minutes of flight time between the EVO 2 and the Mavic 2 Air. There's obviously a little bit of a flight difference. So in that regard, yeah, it totally smashes the EVO 2 in that instance. Battery life is what, 33 minutes, which is still really respectable. And the cost point of $799 or $899, or is it $899 and $799, somewhere in there, it still leaps and bounds better than the $1,400 that you're gonna pay for the 8K. Now, when you step into the EVO 2 6K, which is the Pro version, that's where things get a little bit different. And that 1-inch sensor really does shine quite a bit, and you're getting a whole different sensor than what has in the Air and the 8K, because the 8K and the Air both share this quad Bayer design. And I'm not gonna go really heavily into what quad Bayer is, because there's a lot of really good videos explaining what that sensor is and how it actually scales to that 48 megapixel. So if you're interested in those videos, I'll actually link one of my favorite videos discussing what quad Bayer is down below for you to check out. And yeah, he does a great job actually explaining that. So just know that the 8K and the Air do share the same sensor. Now, one thing I like about the Air, that it does have 4K 60, which I've been a big fan of, and they've also included a decent light color profile, which makes color grading a little bit easier than it is, let's say, on the Mavic Mini. Now, I used to use the Mavic 2 Zoom for quite a while, and it was one of my favorite drones, and still probably one of my favorite drones, and I used that professionally for my real estate work before using the Mavic 2 Pro almost all the time. But as of recent, because the Mavic 2 keeps locking me out of certain areas and I still have to do these jobs, I've actually switched to the Autel EVO. So my reasons for buying the Mavic 2 Air are not for professional use at all. I actually plan on using this when I travel, and so I can slim down on how much I take with me. And also at a cost point of $799, I don't feel bad about losing that drone. It's a funny thing to say that I don't feel bad about losing $800, but when it comes down to when I do travel vlogs and I want to get the shot, I want to know that I can get it through where it needs to go to be able to capture whatever it is I'm doing. And if I happen to have an accident while filming it, I won't be as mad as if I lost, $1,700. And my EVOs right now, currently today, do a lot of heavy lifting for my media company that I have besides just YouTube. So I think for me, the Air is going to be more of a fun drone. I don't even plan on actually reviewing it. I just plan on sharing the footage that I capture with it. I'm gonna start taking a different approach to drones because I feel like we're always getting into this mix of where next best thing, we review it and then we never talk about it again. Or sometimes we do, like if you're following drone channels will typically review something and give you all the nitty gritty, as to where you follow some creators, they may review a product one time and then they never talk about it again. So I know a lot of the channels that I watch, they typically will do long-term reviews and keep up with the firmware. And that's the type of content you want to see when you own a product. So I am not planning on doing any sort of review on the Mavic Air 2, just because I want to enjoy it. And I guess I'm starting to become depressed with just constantly reviewing things. I think it's starting to take a mental toll on me, that I just want to fly things and just have fun with my products because I do use them so much for a professional use case. But back to the topic of the video, no, I don't think the Air 2 is going to kill off Autel. Autel has their own separate fan base. And if you love Autel, you will always love Autel, and that's the drone brand that you want. And if you love DJI, you're always going to love DJI. I think that having these two drones on the market today is fantastic, and it pushes the needle for other companies that haven't yet been discovered, and it's going to make the next era of drones even better. So we shouldn't wish failure upon one brand or the other. We want to see them all succeed, and having choices are what create competition in the sphere that we are in. Anyways, if you found this video useful or helpful, be sure to hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't, and I will see you next time.